Buying a new car is one of the most fun things that you will do. I mean, think about it. It's really quite exciting. Your car tells a lot about your personality, and you really want it to be a reflection of just how fabulous you are. So you've decided to go into the dealership. You know exactly what you want. You've taken the time to think about the colors, the options, the sounds. You have it all in your head and you're ready to go. So you get to the dealership, you communicate your wants, your desires, your must-haves to the salesperson, and you think the two of you are really connecting, and perhaps you are. Then he or she starts to bring you out these beautiful cars and you get to test drive them and you love everything. Almost. There's always one little something that you want to change. And therein lies the reason that a person goes and special orders their car. You are going to get exactly what you want. So that is the motivation for some people. So this video is all about special ordering or factory ordering your car. I will give you some information, some tips that will help you decide if this process is right for you. Many people mistakenly believe that only the very wealthy can go into a dealership and special order the car that they want. And you know what? That is true. Of course, when you have more money, you have more options. But the misnomer is that it is only for the wealthy. People just like you and me can walk into a dealership and special order the car that they want. This is not something that is reserved for super wealthy people. It is an option that's reserved for super smart people. So we talked about the very first reason, and that reason is because the area, the dealerships, they don't have what you want. So you're going to special order. There's also another reason. This reason has to do with a car being a special edition, a limited edition. So the dealership wants to make it special, wants to make it fancy by not shipping too many of that car. So in order to get a special edition or a limited edition vehicle, you have to special order it. And the final reason is one that's very, very practical and has a lot to do with money. Who wants to buy a car with really, really expensive features that you will not use? Let me give you a great example. Now, the Audi line of cars, oh, fantastic. Performance, beautiful, just an amazing car. But it is no secret that some of their cars come with very, very expensive sound systems. So if you don't want to pay for someone else's $5,000 sound system, why should you have to? You don't. So therein lies the beauty of special ordering your car. You want that Audi, but you don't want the $5,000 special sound system. You want to do away with that. And by special ordering, you are given the opportunity to do just that. It's called customization for a reason. Does any of this make us a brat? No. Does any of this make us unreasonable? Of course not. It's your hard-earned money, and you deserve to have what you want. We live in a society now where everything is on demand. You want to watch a movie, Netflix, and chill. You want to do anything on a moment's notice. You can practically accomplish whatever you want. That theory absolutely translates to buying a car. And once again, it's called special order of factory ordering. Let's get into some of the specifics. Let's talk about some of the details now. Is this a complicated process? Will the dealership not want to work with me? Will the salesperson think it's a hassle? Is it going to be more expensive? These are the issues that we will discuss in this section. All right, let's take this step by step. First, you're going to want to decide on exactly what kind of car you want. You can't really have a range of cars or a top 3 list. You have to hone in on exactly what you want. That will give you a chance to be more specific with your customization. Remember that American cars always offer more options for customization than do European and Asian cars. Okay? The second thing you want to do is know what options the manufacturer offers. You will just go on their website and they will tell you all the list of the features that you can actually customize. And this is where you're going to really have to do your research. What you're going to need to do is go online and look at all of the options that are available to you for that particular car. Now, there are some options that are available that are so amazing. Some of these options have to do with entertainment, how you listen to your music, what options are available when you're listening to your music, when you're talking on the phone, Wi-Fi. All of those features will come into entertainment. Then you have features that fall under comfort. For instance, I live in a cold state and I like my seat warmers, I really do. And so there are packages called cold weather packages. There are packages called warm weather packages. All of these are options that you will have the ability to customize. Also, there are packages that have everything to do with your communication and your productivity in the car. Isn't that amazing? It allows you to safely turn your car into an office. Now, these are all features that you will absolutely have to research on the website. Then you just do the research like everything else. Decide exactly what you must have and add those items to your list for customization. This is a list that you will need to take with you to the dealership. Let me make it clear at this point in the video that you have to work with a dealership to special order this car. So you are going to want to do your research in this area to find the dealership that is most respected, possibly get a referral, but you are going to want to work with the dealership that has a great reputation for customer service. There are some services available that will help you custom order your car. And if you are someone who doesn't really have the time to do this level of research on your own, you can use one of the services online and they will help you place your order. But let's be clear that you have to do this with a dealership or an organization that represents a dealership. You cannot special order specifically with the manufacturer. There are dealerships around for a reason and they are here to help you. In this section of the video, let's discuss the financial aspect of custom ordering your car. Is it more expensive? No, not necessarily. If you lean towards options, you personally lean towards options that are practical. You simply want to make sure that you get the practical options that you want, that being color, your engine size, and some interior aspects. Well, that's not going to be more expensive. Now listen, if you lean towards the fancy, and I get that, I really appreciate a fancy car myself. If you want that $5,000 Bose system, if you want some of the higher end packages like the cold weather package and the seat warmers, then of course you may have to pay a little more. This is the reason that you want to make sure to research and see if a dealership in your area has the car with the features that you already want, because in some cases that will be more cost effective. But for the purposes of trying to decide if this is a reasonable option for you, yes, it's usually a reasonable option because lots of cars that are out there are already put to someone else's specifications. And when you make it your own, you can alleviate some of the unnecessary costs associated with cars that have been pre-ordered. In this section of the video, let's talk about negotiation, because some people mistakenly think that you cannot negotiate because you're special ordering. That is not true. That is far from true. So when you go into the dealership, you have your list. You are going to be able to get an itemized cost of what every option will cost you. That's very, very important, because going into the dealership, you absolutely need to know what you can afford to spend, what you are going to spend, and you want to make sure that you are speaking with the salesperson, making it very clear that you are going to stay within your budget, but you're also going to get what you want. Now, does that sound like, how is that even possible? It is still very possible to negotiate as you are special ordering. Keep that in mind. Special order does not mean you are giving away your power to negotiate. It means that you are simply trying to help the dealership place an order that they know has a buyer attached to it. This is a reason that many salespeople really love to see you come in wanting to special order. They don't have to worry about pre-ordering a vehicle that is going to sit on the lot and wait for someone to select it. Dealerships have to pay taxes on those cars that are sitting there. So guess what? You are saving them the hassle and the stress of ordering a car that does not have a buyer. So keep that in mind, because that will help you with your negotiating power. Now, when you get ready to negotiate, think of it as any other process. Take out of your mind that you are asking for special options. Put in your mind that you are the buyer and you do have power. Do not relinquish your power to that salesperson. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure they understand that. And from there, before you do anything else, get your price in writing. Once you have that price in writing from the salesperson, you are then in a position to negotiate. This section is extremely important, because you do not want to think you have to take that bottom line price. Negotiate until you all get to the price that you want. Might that include changing around some of your options? Absolutely. So be flexible. But in the end, you can get what you want at the price that you can afford. Now we need to talk about the fact that before you leave, you want to have everything in writing. So this section of the video is all about paperwork and making sure that you go over each one of those options, that you understand what each option is, the cost related, the negotiated price that you have negotiated with the salesperson. Then and only then do you sign off on that special order. In this section of the video, we are focusing on making sure that you are signing off on what you expect when your car is delivered. There is no room in this process for surprises, because guess who will pay? You will. Okay? When you special order, a deposit is usually required. Listen to this. Negotiate the deposit. Negotiate your deposit. You don't have to accept a $5,000 deposit, $2,500 deposit, none of that. And understand this, oftentimes that deposit is refundable. It is usually refundable if you ask and get it in writing, because guess what? They will still be able to sell this perfectly lovely brand new car. If for some reason something changes, your circumstance change, then you will be able, in most cases, to get your deposit. But it is imperative, let me use the word again, imperative, that you have it in writing that your deposit is refundable. This is one of those situations where what you have in writing, what you walk away from that dealership with in terms of paperwork, is to protect you above all else. All right, so far we have discussed reasons that you would special order. We have discussed the process and how you would do it, whether you would involve your local dealership or if you're one of the people who like to use maybe a third party service, someone that you find on the internet. We've talked about the options that you can include, why it's important to do your research, go on the manufacturer's website, make sure you understand the options that are available to you. We have discussed the importance of negotiation. You do not give your power away in this process simply because you are getting it how you want it. We have discussed the importance of having every single thing in writing and making sure that your option sheet and your final paperwork reflects the price that you negotiated and all of the options that you asked for. Only then do you sign off on it. We have discussed the importance of your deposit. Negotiate that deposit, make sure that it is refundable and have that in writing. Now we need to talk about the one thing that keeps people from special ordering. This con is time. If you want something fast, you are not going to get it in this process. Usually the process takes 6 to 8 weeks. However, the industry average really tends towards 3 months. So if you have something fancy that you want to celebrate in the summer, you need to order this car in the winter or perhaps even the fall. It's also important to understand that some dealerships, Honda for instance, they only order their cars on a quarterly basis. So you can't go into their dealership at any time of the year and say, here, I'm special ordering my car, take my option list and my money, and I will see you in 3 months. Doesn't work like that with some dealerships. So depending on your dealership, you will absolutely need to know if they have restrictions on the time of year that they actually allow their customers to place their order. It seems like you are all set and ready to go out there, special order that car that you want. Be prepared, have your list of questions. Now this video does not help you with your financing, but we have a ton of other videos that will be able to answer your questions in that area, because of course that is the final piece of your puzzle, making sure that your financing goes exactly as planned. But in this video, you have learned how to custom order your very own car. Be sure to check back with us and let us know how it went. And of course, if you have any questions in the process, you can always check back here, send us a message, we will get back to you. But remember, this is your resource for all things car related, and we hope to see you again.